All Eyes on Fishing with Mitch Peterson, Josh Sheldon, and Brad Qualley, leading you to the next level.
Everybody, welcome back to All Eyes on Fishing.
The big return.
The big return. So now we're pretty stoked.
We're back. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
Football's finally done. I'm glad your team finally lost.
Yeah, yep. Football season is officially over in Colorado for us.
You know what, though? What that means? More fishing time.
Well, it means my boy is still playing football.
Really?
And we're going to Florida in December to play football.
Yeah. You guys got that break, that nice long break.
But it gave you a break to go fishing.
It did.
It did.
Yeah.
Thank God. That's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about a Little Bay De Noc, Michigan fall fishing.
Yeah, dude, it was great. You know, Alex Corky,
so jealous,
who was up here to that Ultim Customs. He has the bait.
Well, we did the
next level with him.
Next level, yeah.
Yep.
So we went up and visited him and Randy Wagner, who's
also did
did some stuff with Mercury. But we went up there. They invited us to come. You had a game to coach, so me and Mitch decided, okay, we can do this by ourselves. We'll take one for the team.
Yeah. And that's somehow that went down. The last, because it's been a while since we've done a podcast, but you guys did a podcast. I mean, we did a podcast. We talked about it when we were doing the podcast, not on the podcast, but when we were all together.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was like, man, I don't know. I thought we were all going to kind of see what our schedules were. And then all of a sudden it's like, we're leaving. See you later. I was like, wait a minute.
No, I told you, hey, it's the second week because that's the only thing we could get off.
Right.
He says first or second week. You're like, dude, I can't go. Can't go the first week. I don't know if we're going to win.
I don't know if we're going to win. Yeah. And then we did win. So I couldn't have gone anyways. But you guys were already out. And then all of a sudden, And there was no like reminder or a call or like hey, we're leaving.
Do you ever need to be reminded if there's a fishing trip?
No, but all I see is Mitch's post on Facebook with a map. We're here.
I know. He's like shit, there go.
We're out here. Bye.
I was like, was that this weekend?
Yeah, buddy, it sure was. So we got up there. So the trip is we flew in to Green Bay. And we ended up, they live down in the Green Bay area, 25 minutes from there. So, and got a car, and their family, they grew up fishing like Michigan because they chartered salmon and walleye and all that stuff. And Ultimatum Chargers now is what he is. He just got his captain's license. But so he calls us and he goes, "Hey guys, we are." We're like, "Yeah, what's up?"
Oh, nothing. I was looking. It looked like our quit recording briefly, but I think it's okay.
We're okay. Well, we'll just keep going, and if we have to retape it, we're going to talk fishing anyway.
So anyways, we're talking fishing.
So we get in there, and literally, we pull in, get a rental car, and it's awesome. Green Bay's about as big as my shoe. So, I mean, the airport, it took no time. All of a sudden, we're in a rental car. That was fast.
They don't even have a train or anything.
Nothing. You just walked out.
Really?
Like, dude, it's right here.
Crazy. New world, huh?
I know.
Yeah, I walk across the street to the rental car company. You don't have to take a bus for 20 minutes like at Denver.
And you just picked which one you want. You're like, go ahead. It's fine.
Really?
Yeah,
you
just whatever you go.
Yeah, whatever's out on the lot. They're all got gas.
That's how it was.
Keys are in the gas tank.
So we take off. We meet Alex at Cabela's because it's on the way. And then 2.5 hours later, we're in Escanaba on the water.
On the water.
It was awesome.
Really? So you guys been fishing that night?
Oh, yeah, dude. We didn't waste any time. We dropped our stuff off. We stayed. I'm going to pull up the name of this lodge, dude, or this little thing when you guys are talking.
So was it different than where you and I stayed then, obviously, right?
Yeah, we drove by. We went to the place that got coffee.
The gas station from heaven, dude.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I told
Holiday Station.
I told Mitch, Holiday Station.
We
but
had
I told
to
Mitch,
stop on the way out.
Well, I told him, I said, when you and I were there, it got to the point that we were so addicted to that coffee, we were getting a cup before we got on the water. We got a cup when we got off the water. And then if we were like, after dinner, we got a cup on the walk back from wherever we ate, right? I was like, geez, we got to quit drinking coffee. I had to drink so much coffee, where you pee and it stinks like coffee. I was like, it's bad. Like every pee is that.
Typical.
That's every day.
Yeah, I know. It was hilarious. We were stopping all the time. I mean, it was like
Little Bladder Junior.
Yeah, well, it was hilarious because it was like, because we covered some serious water during that NTC tournament. And so we were filling up the boat every day. And so instead of filling up at the gas station that was cheaper down the road right off the ramp, no, we drove all the way over to the holiday just so we could get a cup.
Coffee.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck?
I'm going to get you the name of this, though, because anybody that's going to go fishing up there, this place was sweet. We'll talk about the hotel. Probably we'll get into the next level, too, and about the big trip. But we got up there. The first thing we did, wind was howling. They had gale force wind warnings when we got there.
It was like that the first day you and I got there, remember?
Yeah, this is worse.
It was worse.
It was way worse.
Oh, I just remember
we learned a new term when we were up there. It's awesome. There's sheep on the pasture.
Yeah.
Sheep on the pasture. The whitecaps?
Yeah. Because he calls his dad, they just got done fishing the day before.
Yeah.
Or the weekend before.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, yeah, there's some sheep on the pasture today. They're pretty heavy. We're like, oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Because everybody can picture that.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
But no, it was howling, and it laid down. So we get out there, and there's one other boat in the parking lot.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, my God. So because a lot of guys are fishing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they had just put out. And because we got there, I'll just say it was like 3. We started fishing right around that 2:33 after we got checked in and everything. And the wind was supposed to die down by 5.
Yeah.
So we're like, well, we only got for a couple hours.
Right.
And we're like, damn, kid. So he went to this one lot. He went to this one dock that was kind of out of the wind a little bit. So we had it easy to load on and off. There's a nice breaker there. So we load and head out there. Oh, yeah. It's pretty choppy. Pretty choppy, but it did.
Pretty feisty.
They're actually right. It did lay down pretty good. I mean, it laid down to about 25.
That's probably why you had a good bite.
No, I've got a video of one of the walleyes we caught, and it was a nice one too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you can see the white caps rolling.
Okay, you behind off the back of the boat.
Even when we're nutting the fish and everything.
It was kind of crazy. I was we deal with some pretty good wind coming off the mountains here, and I think we're all pretty used to it. But I was pretty shocked at how. I mean,
these waves are different.
Yeah, well, the waves are different, but the wind is different too. I mean, it's kind of hard sometimes to even tell what direction it's coming out of.
Mm-hmm. It was weird like that.
Yeah, when you and I were up there, because we had a lot of days that were bad. We had a few days that weren't, but like the tournament days were good. But the other days, we had some really.
Especially the very first day we went there was similar to what me and you were, but this was a little.
We were dumb enough to go. On to Lake Michigan. We weren't smart enough. We were all excited and stupid. And we went out
of this bay.
Remember we went out to Whale Rock?
This bay is huge.
Yeah. We went out to Whale Rock. Well, we went out of Cedar that day. So we were halfway down, remember? Yeah. So if we were to go anywhere, you go, because, the Cedar was flat because it's all protected. The second you get to that mouth, we got past those 2 buoys. We were like, holy shit, what is going down here?
Well, it was straight in.
We went out to Whale Rock. And
when we get out on the water, what was the first thing we did, Mitch?
Hammered it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yes, he has this Yarcraft. It's badass with a 400 on it, and it pushes through. I mean, there's a lot of nice boats out there, like your Ranger, beautiful boat. Yeah. But this Yarcraft, it was first time I'd ever really spent a lot of time in a Yarcraft. It is a nice boat.
Yeah.
No wonder that people talk highly about them because.
Oh yeah,
it was a good boat.
You could feel it.
Good fishing boat.
Well, and even when it was sitting on the trailer, I was like, look at the hole on that thing.
Yeah.
Up in the bow, it's
different.
so deep. Yeah, it's just different looking.
Yeah.
But sure enough, it cut right through those waves.
You have to have a boat like that up there, though. You have to pay the money.
If you want to be able to go out anytime.
Yeah, if you're just gonna fish in Little Bay and go right off of Gladstone or Escanaba or whatever, and kind of just tool around back in there, it's a little bit different. It's still gigantic bay, but you can find you can find the downwind side and it not be, or the upwind side and not as bad. But like when you and I went all the way back where the river came in, I mean, it was blowing that day and cold, and it was dead calm back there.
Yeah, so when we get there, we went walleye fishing right away.
Yeah, we went casting, huh?
We did.
Yeah.
Oh, you cast? I didn't know you guys cast. I thought you just trolled.
No, we did a lot of casting and trolling.
Yeah.
So what was cool about casting, dude? First time we got to use a Garmin.
Yeah.
Live scope.
Oh, live scope. Yeah,
you guys did the live
one
in the bow, one in the back.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so we got to, not only did we get to, watch somebody fish with it, oh no, we got to play with it and fish with it.
It's pretty cool.
So did you guys, I didn't know you guys catch any fish casting?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
What were you casting?
We caught, well, he was using, I can't remember the, it's not jig and wraps.
Was it the Acme ones?
No. So we were using shiver minnows.
No.
We'll get to that, though, because we'll remember what it is. Yeah. It's just both of us are like, bleh. But we were using shivers. He was using some ripping wraps.
Yeah.
But I don't think we caught any on ripping wraps. And then just jig with paddle tail.
Oh, just regular, like swim bait or
swim bait.
Yeah. Which any particular kind?
He was throwing Kalins, and then there was another kind I can't remember.
Started with a K.
Yeah.
Copland?
Something like it was a local one up there.
No, it was.
Yeah.
They were nice, super soft,
super. Yeah. You know, it's funny because out here I have had, I bought a lot of super soft ones because even maybe one of our listeners wrote in and said, "Hey, you should try this brand." And so I ordered some, and they were cool, right? And they were super soft, so they had a great motion, but I couldn't catch fish on them. Mm-hmm. I mean, put on the stiffer ones. I did much better. I don't know if it was just the motion or what, but yeah.
No, these were pretty flimsy.
Yeah.
Soft, very
well,
soft.
It was just interesting fishing with that live scope because, like Alex said, he's in the front of the boat, and just staring at it. He's got the front one attached to his trolling motor.
Yeah. So he's got spots. So he drives to an area.
Yeah.
Like the size of a football field.
Right.
Like that's the area.
And then he goes till he sees
it. Well, and he will. He'll constantly move the trolling motor back and forth.
Yeah.
Even though we're still working the area in one direction just to scan. And he goes, "Oh yeah, it's kind of amazing. I don't cast unless I see a fish."
Unless you see a fish.
Yeah, that's how confident he is with it. That's how well it worked.
Wow.
I mean, it was
pretty cool.
Game changer.
We were fishing. So this was like day 3. We were fishing a sandbar break.
Yeah.
That was an amazing break. It went from like probably 4 feet down to 28, 30.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was sharp, steep too. Like front of the boat could be in 25. Front of the boat would be at 14.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're fishing it sideways. So there's smallies down there, northerns. So me and Mitch and Randy, we're Lindy rigging with probably 1 ounce or 3/4. It was 1 ounce.
Mm-hmm. 1 ounce.
Yeah, 1 ounce Walker weights with like 5 foot snell and these probably and they were big old chubs.
Yeah,
like 5-inch chubs.
Yeah,
must be nice to be able to find 4 or 5 inch chubs. Huh?
Oh yeah,
no, fives were the small ones, like 5, 6. Some of them are monster chubs.
Yeah.
Like, geez.
Yeah.
But so he's working. We're just Lindy rigging on this break. And fish are coming in. We're picking up fish, smallies, kind of whatever's in there.
Any drum?
Nope.
Suckers?
No.
Remember all the damn suckers we caught?
All we caught were actually game fish.
Bass, pike, and walleye.
That's it.
You get a lot of pike?
A few.
Yeah. Probably 10.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but he is constantly pushing us up this break, or he is with the trolling motor.
Yeah.
And it's got the live scope on it. Be like, oh, spot lock. He casts it. Wham! Get one.
No
he's
kidding.
just casting right to him.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's good with it, He's because he's fished
lots of practice.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. That might be a purchase we look at doing.
I tell you,
I want to get 2 of them.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Why do you want to?
Dude, I don't know.
Because I want my own.
I was just going to say, yeah, why do you want to? You just buy one.
The problem with them is because we're rookies. We've seen the Lawrence one. And we fished. I fished a couple weeks ago with Dan up in Granby.
Yeah,
and that's nice too. I mean, they're both a lot of the similarities, right? But I never got to really run one.
Yeah.
So me and Mitch are in the back. We're like king shit here. We're like, ooh, we got our own. Yeah, buddy. Well, and at first there's a little learning curve, so I had to go up front and he had to show me, and then I'm back there and we're working. We're like, oh, there's a fish right there.
Yeah.
So we're casting to it. Nothing. Because you know why? Because every time you cast to it, you're watching the live scope, you're watching your jig, you're like, you stop reeling, you're like, oh, it's right by it. Wait a minute. I got to keep working.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And if it's like a video game.
Right.
After a while, me and Mitch are saying, okay, as soon as we cast, stop looking at it. Don't look at it. Work your jig.
Yeah. Yeah. That's hilarious.
And then I'd catch Mitch looking over my shoulder.
Yeah.
Quit looking at it.
That's awesome.
And it's
I can't help it.
It was like a new toy. It was. It's a game changer for those guys when you're specifically targeting fish. So takeaways on this is if you have one or you're thinking about one, I'm telling you, game changer.
Game changer. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, and I tell you, since we're kind of talking about electronics, he had hummingbirds.
Yes.
And I tell you what, it was pretty nice.
Yeah.
The controls are really what I was impressed with. I mean, there's a dial on it. So you know how on Lowrance, we have to up and down with the arrows, or plus and minus to enlarge and zoom in and stuff. Oh no, in this dial, you can just roll it with your finger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can touch the screen. So that quadrant, so he's got it, say it's in four different screens on the one big screen. You can just touch the one and it controls that one.
Oh. Zooming in
I mean,
and
it's just
it's cool. I mean, not knocking Lowrance at all because we're all running Lowrance. We love it, but fishing with Brandy, who runs the Hummingbird, and I got to play with it a little bit when I was up here in March. And whenever you switch systems, it's like God. trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
It's like, God, so I played with that, learned it a little bit, but not proficient by any means. You need to go out on the water to get proficient.
Mm-hmm.
But then to find someone that is almost like Dan Swanson proficient.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well,
I would say he knows every little thing about that. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So he was one thing, and we'll probably touch on this in the next level of how we targeted smallmouth and walleye when we got to an area that typically holds them this time of year.
Yeah.
Because
strictly casting, or did you target them while trolling too? Because I know some of the guys around here use them trolling. And
what's that? The live target?
Yeah.
Live scope? Oh yeah, we had it. Well,
he said it doesn't really work when you're pulling cranks,
but
when he's pulling bouncers, and
right.
Yep.
Because we had our board so far out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What he did do is he had it down not to see our baits, to watch the water column. Because what's different on like our Lowrance or any of you have a cone that's shining down, or even your side imaging, it's showing you fish out, but it's hard to see where they're at relative to the water column.
Right.
On the Garmin, he had it down on the starboard side, on our side, pointing straight back, and you could see these fish that were in 2 feet of water way back behind us.
I see. So they were up high, and something you wouldn't be able to tell.
So what we can't see in our clutter, yep, you can see it.
You can see it. It's just clutter. Yeah, that's what was nice about it. So yes, we did use them trolling, but not to like watch our baits.
Right.
Just to watch the water column. So you knew how to set your baits. So there's fish all over 5 feet down.
Yeah.
Well, you're barely picking them up on your side imaging and not on your down scan at all.
Yeah. So you think it's worth the cash?
Yep.
I wonder if they're ever going to.
That didn't take you long. Yep.
I just wonder if
I've said that. I've asked that question about 40 times. Every time I come up with the same answer.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just wonder if they're going to come down in price, right? Like, it sounds like they're going to become as common as regular graphs, right? So I would guess they're going to. I mean, you would think, right? As they become more and more common, I mean, they may even start to replace.
You'd hope, but at the same time, unless Lowrance and they start competing and lowering the price, why? I mean, the thing is so cool.
Well, you just wonder if they're going to start to build them in all together.
Well, before I actually used it and got to see it, oh yeah, I've seen the videos, I've seen it all, and cool, super cool.
Yeah,
I want one of those someday. Nah, now I'm gonna get one someday.
Yeah.
Still, instead of I want one,
I'm gonna. Yeah.
Well, I say we take this over to the next level, and we'll really dive into what we actually did out there. I know we talked a little bit about we were cranking, we were casting, but how we got to these spots and what it looks like.
Just before we switch, tell them real quick, how big were these fish you guys were getting? So they know what to expect when we get to the next level.
So like our smallmouth, the small ones were probably in that 4.5 pound range.
Small ones.
Small ones.
No, seriously.
The small ones. I know.
Shake them off.
It's insane.
And the big ones were...
Shake them off. Shake off a 4-pounder.
Yeah. And the big ones were that 6.5 to 7.
Yeah. No kidding. Gosh.
In fact...
I love fall smallies.
So, we're Colorado's chock full of 15-inch smallies, right?
Yeah. By the way, I found out a little something about that, too. We can talk about it in the next level, but there's a reason.
Really?
Yeah. We picked the wrong strain. Our DNR took a strain initially, and they still do it. That's not the same. It's not the same strain of smallmouth. Because with the bait, the bait we have in these lakes, our smallmouth could easily be that size.
Yeah.
No, so evidently there's different strains. This is a strain that came from southern reservoirs.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it's a smaller. It doesn't grow as fast or as big.
No kidding. Huh.
So a 19-inch or a 20-inch smallie here is a absolute gigantic monster.
Well, and that's what we talked about.
Those off.
Yeah. And that's what we talked about before we came out. He asked me, what's my biggest? And I said, well, I know I've caught a 19 and a couple 20s.
Mm-hmm. That's about what I've gotten to. I think I got one that was 21 and a half.
And this thing, and that's 5-pound range. You know what I mean? It was a toad. You're like, oh my
monster.
God. There, he's like, no, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he asked us, he goes,
it's in the pond behind the Comfort Inn.
He asked us, he goes, hey, do you guys want to go smallmouth fishing or do you want to go walleye fishing? We're like, yes.
Yeah, all the above.
Yes.
Yeah, and we don't even mind catching pike. I know you guys hate them, but we don't mind.
No, it was fine. It was fun catching
no sheephead, though. We're good on those.
No sheephead. Yeah. So
we avoided them.
Yeah.
Well, when we hook up with a smallie out here, right away. It's
absolutely.
No, you have no idea.
Yeah.
Really?
It felt like a walleye. My big one that I got, I swear, I hooked up and thought it was a walleye because I felt the head
it's
shaking.
Just straight down, pumping.
And I swear, we were in 38 feet of water, that deeper spot, right? It was.
I was going to say 32, but
whatever it is. Yeah, 30. It was 32. I was probably halfway up, and all of a sudden it just stopped. It stopped. It was like I snagged up.
Yeah, really?
Slug.
You're like, yeah, we're done.
I was like, oh, I just started giggling.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And I thought it was a great walleye.
Great big walleye.
And then it went again, and I was like, look at that fat
Yeah.
brown.
And the
That's
walleyes,
awesome.
the walleyes we caught a lot in that 5-6 pound range, but we lost a big one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big one.
31.
We'll talk about that one on the
We
next
will.
level.
So I gave a little teaser what we're at. We'll talk about that, but we hope to join you on the next level. I don't have that wrote down. Do you know Super Tech? What is it?
Supercast. www.supercast.tech.
I can't ever remember that.
Yeah, and it's all eyes on, it's all eyes on, yeah, AOF.supertech.tech.
Yep. So follow us over there for the
Supercast.
next level. For the next level, we got a ton of episodes over there.
Yep.
So I'd love to have you join. You can do it that way, and we'll continue this conversation. We appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
This has been All Eyes on Fishing. Thanks for listening. If you like what you heard, go ahead and subscribe to The Next Level. And you can hear longer podcasts and more information on all of your favorite topics. And check us out at alleyesonfishing.com for apparel, blogs, and other information. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. All Eyes on Fishing, leading you to the next level.